Hi. Looking to see if maybe you'd be interested in purchasing this sword.
Oh, wow.
Are you a closet samurai or something like that?
No. I'm here at the pawn shop today, hopefully to sell my 16th century katana ceremonial sword. My father-in-law brought it back from World War II when he was stationed in Japan. I think this sword is really cool, and I'm looking to get $10,000.
It's a great piece of history. During World War II, there was this whole thing called the spoils of war and war prizes. Might sound a little strange now, but it just goes back from thousands of years. I mean, that was part of a soldier's pay. If you went to battle, you got to take a few prizes home. Generally, out of Europe, they would take flutes. I've seen lugers. I've seen all these other things. One of the big things guys brought back from Japan was samurai swords.
Wow.
Can you tell me what this says right here?
Well, he actually did ask a Japanese kid to tell him what the writings meant. The kid said it was a sword used for beheading Christians.
I mean, I have never heard of the Japanese beheading Christians.
Okay.
Can we see the blade on this thing?
Do you mind if I take it apart?
Absolutely.
Please. There's a little excitement in here. Ooh, check out the blade on that sword. Don't be touching that, Rick. You know better than that. What did I tell you over the years?
What have you taught me?
Yeah, not to touch that with your hands.
So what can you tell me about this, chum? Humor him. What do you know about it?
Let's see here. It's pretty old. Looks pretty nice. Definitely looks like it was used. Probably beheaded, you know, an out-of-line boss once or twice in its time.
I definitely find it interesting. What were you looking to do with it?
Sell it.
Okay, how much you want for it?
10,000.
Okay. To be perfectly honest, I have no idea what it's worth. It's in need of some reconditioning, I'll tell you that.
Yes.
With these things, I have a friend who knows everything about them. When they come in, that's who I call. So if you don't mind hanging out for a little bit, I'll give him a call, have him come down, check it out, and
Great, excellent.
he'll give us a much better idea what it's worth. Here it is. So what do you think?
Well, let me take a look at the handle with your permission.
Absolutely. That was slick.
Well, it's got some writing on the blade, huh? You seeing anything good down there?
So this blade is actually very interesting because during the 1800s, there was a great rebellion and a civil war going on, and many factions were trying to take over Japan. This blade was made in 1863 by Nagahiro and was given to the Lord of Choshu to protect Japan against enemies of the emperor, the imperial family, and especially against the Tokugawa, or the military leader. So this is quite an important sword, historically.
She was told a story that it was used for beheading Christians, which I said, probably not.
There is a term called joy that's written on the tang, which means protecting or reverence to the imperial family. So not literally beheading Christians, but just anybody who was considered an enemy of the emperor at the time.
Okay, so the question, what's it worth?
Well, in its present condition and the fact that it has very high historical value, I'd say this sword is probably worth about $10,000.
Wow.
All right, thanks, man.
Okay, this sword is a very good buy for the shop because it's a very unique item. Anytime you get a sword that was actually owned personally by the Lord, that's got to be something special.
All right, so what are you willing to take for it? I have to make money on it.
Oh, I realize that. 5? Can you make money at that?
Yeah, I can. I make a little too much money at that. The fact of the matter is, I don't take advantage of people. 5,000 is just too low. I will give you $6,000 for it. I would go more, but this is a multi-year project here, most likely. So I'm assuming 6,000 is fine since you wanted 5.
Yes, 6,000 is great.
Okay, all right.
Thank you.
Chum, will you write her up?
I'm gonna write this ticket up, and then I might behead you with this sword, Rick.
Oh. I'm amazed. I asked for 5,000 for the sword, and Rick cut me some slack and actually gave me 6. It's awesome.
Rick, I got something for you.
Davey effing Deals, what's up?
The oldest samurai sword that you had in the shop. The case and the paperwork.
It's all in Japanese?
Yeah, I couldn't read it. Good luck with that. I own a small car dealership, and I took this crazy samurai sword in on trade, and I need to turn it into cash ASAP. I went for my heart. I trusted the guy that I was talking with. He seemed like a straight shooter, and we're here to find out if I was right or wrong.
Where did you get this thing?
I took it in trade on a vehicle, which I hope I didn't hurt myself too bad.
Well, the paperwork looks awfully official.
It's like 1500 era.
Okay.
The guy was really old that traded it in, so I kind of tend to believe him, but it's a lot of money. A lot of money.
How much you want for it?
$18,000.
$18,000.
$18,000.
Do you know how to open this thing?
You gotta push a button of some sort with the...
Because usually they just slide out. I know the other ones I have up there do.
The pin, you have to push the pin out. The guy showed me, but I didn't really pay much attention.
You didn't pay much attention, but you gave him a lot of money for it.
Well, yeah. Not the brightest move, but...
Rocco.
Yes, sir.
How does this thing open? Typical Davey. He did a trade on this sword and had no idea anything about it. He should have had it checked out, especially when there's so much money on the line. Luckily, I have Rocco. He's like my best weapons guy at the store, and he specializes in swords.
Oh, boy.
So what is it?
It appears to be a samurai sword. To find out if it's real, I actually have to pull the handle off here. This is what matters right here. This is the name of the master here, Yoshisugu. And then it matches the signature here. Yep, he was a prominent sword maker from the late 1500s. Japan's metals were very limited, so they would pound and fold and make the strongest blades ever compared to the poured steel from medieval Europe. Yoshisugu is a master that's pretty well known. He made a really good sword.
All right, and big question is, this thinks it's worth $18,000 because someone told him that. And what's it worth?
That's an actual samurai sword. It's got all the paperwork. It's in excellent condition. It's a $15,000 to $20,000 sword.
Told you.
Thanks, Rocco. I'll deal with him from here.
Right on, guys. Thanks, Davey.
I am walking out of here with $18,000 today, come hell or high water. This is gonna be a battle of the salesmen. He does it all the time, but I am Davey Deals, so we are definitely gonna go at it. What do you think?
So I'll give you 10 grand for it.
18.
10 grand.
Can you take it to an auction or something? Is there some way I can get $15,000 out of this? Come on.
Not for me. I mean, even if you bring it to an auction, you get 15 grand, they're still gonna take like 15, 20%. I mean, I'll go like 12 grand, man. I gotta resell it.
Well, let's trade something.
What are you gonna trade for? You got all the tacky jewelry you need.
I know, I do have a tacky jewelry. I've been eye hustling your sand rail since you got it. Can we do something with the sand rail? And then I'll get a good fuzzy feeling like I didn't get burned on the sword.
I took in a 4-seater sandrail about a year ago. I paid a little over 18 grand for it, had the transmission rebuilt, and put hours and hours of fun into this thing. Let's go take a look at it.
Yeah, let's take a look at it.
Okay.
You better have Rock put that thing back together before somebody gets cut.
There it is, man. My buddy Davey is trying to sell me a really rare samurai sword. He wants 18 grand, but I'm not paying that much. Now he wants to try and trade it for my sandrail.
I love the cooler up in the front. Can you get it into reverse? Yeah,
You
your
know-
son keeps reminding me about when you broke down, the tranny went out on it.
I had the tranny completely rebuilt.
Right.
So
Will it idle?
it's sort of idles. You know what I mean? It's got a big blower on it and everything else. So
And it's built, right? So it's gonna bop, 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 bop.
Yeah, so when you cruise around, it's fine. It's in great shape. I've had it blasted. I've had it for over a year now.
Yeah. Should we start it?
Jump in. All right. I have a little over $20,000 invested in this thing. But I know when I fire this thing up, Davey is going to give me anything I ask for it. Now that I have Davey hooked on this thing, I gotta make sure I get my money out of it. No matter how bad I want that sword.
Well, I definitely want to make a deal, so let's make it happen.
Okay, so give me the samurai sword and 10 grand.
Samurai sword, 3 grand. 15, 3, 8, that gives you 18 for this.
That's what I paid for it.
So you've had it for a year, you break even. I mean, we'll still have it.
No, I'm not in business to break even.
What do you mean? This is our deal, not
No, I know
money deal.
it's like 4 grand to get the tranny rebuilt.
So I'll go 5 G's. I'll split the half of the tranny with you. 5 grand samurai sword puts you at 20 G's.
No, I offered you 12 grand, so that makes me at 17 G's. I'm still losing money. So give me the samurai sword and 8 grand. That's like the best I could do.
All right, you got a deal.
All right, man.
All right. I appreciate it. It'll stay in the family, you know that.
Okay, all right, let's do some paperwork, man.
All right. So I walked in here trying to get $18,000 cash in my pocket. I ended up giving them $8,000 cash out of my pocket. I don't know how they do this to me, but they do. I guess he is the better salesman.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, great. I've got this ancient Japanese katana signed by Koide Ishida himself, and I'm interested in selling it.
All right. Yeah, I definitely wouldn't want to be on the receiving end of it, that's for sure.
Well, I've displayed the sword in my office, and here comes this Japanese guy, and he goes, oh my goodness, that's worth a lot of money. And I knew then that I had something that was really valuable. I've been told the value is anywhere from $20,000 to $100,000, and so the sky's the limit.
So what can you tell me about it?
I have been in swords for quite a few years. I like reproductions, and I've never had an original.
Okay.
And when I seen this one here, that was it. I wanted it.
All right. And you mentioned a name.
And it's signed by a gentleman by the name of Koide Ishida.
And who is he?
He could be the descendant of Mitsunari Ishida, the colonel in the Battle of Sakigahara.
Does that make it special?
I've never seen anything like this one here anywhere.
You got a few, man.
You got a couple, but you notice nothing like this.
We picked up one of our Japanese swords for $4,500, and after having it restored, it's worth 15 grand. If I can make that sort of profit on this thing, I've got to have it. You say it has markings and it's signed. Where are they?
The swordsmith usually puts his signature on it on the tang.
So if we remove this handle, we'll see the signature underneath?
Right. This was all deciphered by a Japanese lady.
Koide Ishida.
Right. That's what's on the tang.
Okay, so some guy we don't know.
Right.
That's useless to me. I'm not trying to be a jerk to this guy, but I do need to be extremely careful. There's a ton of fakes out there. Some stranger appraised it, and no one even knows who Koide Ishida is. But the markings on the sword are fairly unique, so I think it's worth having someone take a look at it. How much are you looking to get?
Well, $1 million.
You mind if I have a buddy of mine come check it out?
Welcome it.
All right, let me go give him a call.
All right, thank you. I'm excited because now I got a professional that knows what he's doing. And by golly, that's what I've been looking for.
What you got today?
Got a katana sword for you.
May I take a look at your sword?
Oh, absolutely. Right ahead.
You know, swords like this, they're laminated and they're made with like about 33,000 layers of steel.
Yes, sir.
So their cutting ability is unparalleled. During World War II, there was footage of one that cut through a machine gun barrel.
Wow.
This was very prominent around 1000 to around the late 1200s. And swords in that time period are well worth anywhere from $50,000 up to $4 million. It is really rare to find a sword from the 1200s in fully intact condition. Getting a sword like that is kind of like winning the lotto.
So tell me, is it real?
We have to remove the handle to take a look at the signature. So what this says is actually Shinjo. He's a very famous maker, Iwama Shinjo. But there is no such maker as Ishida Koide, unfortunately. And swords from the Kamakura period were worn opposite. So the signature would actually be on this side of the tank.
Okay.
What we have here is actually a reproduction of a Kamakura period sword.
Wow.
These swords were actually made in China about 15 years ago. I've seen these go for anywhere from $50 to $200.
Well, man, unfortunately, we're not going to be able to make a deal. I got no room for $50 swords. So, Mike, you mind giving them my hand?
Nah, no problem.
Appreciate it.
All right, thank you. Yeah, I'm disappointed because it looks real. It fooled me, and I was really looking forward to this. But I learned a lot.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, how you doing? I have a samurai sword that my family's had for a long, long time. I really don't know much about it.
Why is it made out of wood?
Got me on that one.
I mean, it wouldn't really do a lot of damage.
Giant toothpick. I'm here today at the pawn shop to sell my sword. My grandfather brought the sword back from World War II, and it's been in the family ever since. I was looking to get $8,000 for the sword. If I walk out of the pawn shop today with $8,000, I will take my family on a vacation to a theme park in Florida.
So it looks like you have a scabbard here, but not the sword. I mean, the handle looks pretty legit. Do you know much about it at all?
No, it's just from my grandfather. He picked it up during the war, and I really don't know anything more than that.
I deal with samurai swords all the time, but I've never really dealt with just a case and a handle for one. It definitely looks Japanese, but you know, one of the big problems with stuff like this is these things were passed down from generation to generation. It could be 500 years old, it could be 100 years old. I have no idea. They really do range from that kind of time period. I really don't understand why there's not a sword attached to it. I mean, it definitely looks like a mounting for an actual sword. I just want to know where the real sword's at. The handle looks like it's made of silk. The scabbard, I don't know what material it is that they used. I mean, it looks like wood maybe. So we don't know how old it is. It looks like it could actually be something here. I just don't know exactly what it is. So what are you looking to do with it?
To sell it.
Okay. Any idea what you're looking to get?
$8,000.
Do you mind if I have a buddy come in and take a look at it?
No, I welcome you. Great.
Okay, hang out. I'll be right back.
I'm totally fine with someone coming in today to look at the sword. I really would like to have more information about where it came from, how old it is, and what its value is.
Hey, Mike, what's going on, man?
Hey, what's up, Corey? How you been?
Doing good.
Oh, what you got today?
A weird one. It's what appears to be an old scabbard.
Okay. Well, actually, this is common, believe it or not, in Japan. After World War II, the occupation, MacArthur ordered all the swords to get collected. So that means all the blades were turned in, but the mountings were okay to keep because these were not against law. They're not a weapon.
Okay.
And this is quite old, actually.
How do we know how old it is?
Well, this style of mount is made in southern Japan, and this is known as a Higo mount, which is from the area of Kumamoto, modern-day Japan. And they were very particular to make this style of gold inlay work. Judging from the style, we can pretty much determine that this whole package was from the early 1800s.
Oh, wow. So what else can you tell me about it?
Interesting. This is very interesting. Maybe you get lucky. It's a hidden coin pocket.
No way.
These are very rare to find intact.
Now, I am a little bit of an expert. Those aren't gold.
No, these are definitely not gold. Unfortunately, somebody put some reproductions in here and obviously kept the real gold.
So why would they hide it inside their sword like that?
You would be afraid to get robbed. So this was the best place to actually hide your money in that sense.
Gotcha.
A little holder like this could hold up to $10,000 worth of coins.
Okay, well, too bad we didn't get that lucky, right?
But because of the rarity of this, this makes this set very highly collectible.
Okay. How collectible?
Well, I mean, in excellent condition like this, especially with the addition of the hidden coin pocket, now you're talking something very, very rare and special. So this thing would be worth an easy $8,000.
All right, well, appreciate it, Mike.
All right, take care.
Thank you.
See you later.
Well, I mean, you kind of hit the nail on the head of what it was worth. That being said, I've got to make some money. I'd like to give you 4.
Could you come up a little bit more than 4?
Can you go down from 8?
6.5.
Tell you what, I'll do 5.
5 seems fair.
All right, deal.
Thank you.
Meet me over there. Let's do some paperwork.
Okay. I am thrilled to make a deal today for $5,000. It wasn't quite the $8,000 I was asking for, but I will certainly be able to take my family on a nice vacation.
I got something for you.
Oh, sweet, a ninja sword.
No, that's a samurai sword.
Same thing.
I came down to the pawn shop today to sell my 1600 samurai sword. I got the sword because the client owed me about 300 bucks. I like to sell it because when my wife, when she's angry at me, she kind of looks at it.
You mind if I open it up?
Be very careful, though. It's pretty sharp.
Oh, that's nice, man. What do you know about it?
Well, this is a Yatsuru sword made in about 1600.
Okay. So where'd you get this at, man?
Well, I'm a lawyer, and my client, you see, he owed me some money on a case I'd done for him, and he left the sword with me. He never came back, so the sword's mine. I think it's something that you probably would like to have. Look at this blade, all right? That's the real deal. It takes special people to do this, you know? I'm wondering if these are bloodstains on here.
They could be bloodstains, they could be rust. One of the things about these swords, and one of the ways you can kind of tell that it's old, is that they didn't have stainless steel back then. They had carbon steel. So when you touch it, it will actually rust in the spot where you touch it. That's why they had to keep them in the sheaths. And probably most of these are from spots where it's actually been touched.
Okay.
Samurais were highly skilled Japanese warriors, and their main weapon was their sword. The master swordsmiths who made them really had to make them perfect, so it could take over 6 months to finish one. One of the problems that you have with these type of swords is that they never really changed the design of them because the original design was the best design. This sword could be 100 years old, it could be 1,000 years old.
Okay.
I mean, it looks as old as you're saying it is. I just wish I knew more about them. It's a shame, too, because I do know a guy who would be able to tell me everything there is to know about this, but he's actually in another state right now. Lately, I've really been trying to prove to my dad that I deserve to be part owner of the shop, but this is a tough call. If I buy this sword without getting it checked out, it could really backfire. But I've seen a few of these sell for thousands of dollars. If this one's legit, it might be just the thing to show him I'm capable of handling risk in a bigger way around here. Any idea what you're looking to get out of it?
$5,000.
Probably my biggest concern is whether or not this could be restored in the States. That being said, my man, I'm seeing like 800 bucks.
That's not even $100 a century on this thing. It's worth every bit of $5,000.
Problem I have is that I don't know enough about it to pay you that much. I'll go up to 12.
I'll come down to 4.
If you're gonna hold my feet to the fire and make me pay as much as I can, it's gonna be 1,500 bucks.
I'll come down to 2,000.
I've got 5 of them right there. 1,500 bucks, my man. That's all I'm willing to risk.
Deal.
Deal? All right, Chum, you wanna take care of him?
Hell yeah. Meet me at the counter.
All right. When he offered me 800, I was ready to jump and do a dance, but I had to keep my cool because the price was still going up.
Dude, I could slice the apple right out of the air with that samurai sword.
No, you couldn't. Earlier, our guy brought in a cool old samurai sword. Our sword guy wasn't able to come in and tell us what it's worth, so I took a guess and bought it for $1,500. And of course, Chum won't stop talking about it. He's obsessed with being a ninja, as we all saw from the security video a while ago. So I'm not letting him anywhere near this one.
You would have to throw the apple up, Zone. I'll take the sword back and cock it.
Chum.
It'll be fun. It'll be dope, I'm telling you.
What sword are we talking about?
I was talking just in general.
Corey, tell you, old man, what the hell you did this time.
I bought an old samurai sword from like the 1500s.
And who checked it out?
It was legit. I was there.
So you checked it out?
Well, with Corey, yeah.
Oh, hell, we're in trouble. Corey, you realize that there is fake samurai swords out there.
Obviously.
Well, I mean, there's companies that make them just to look like they're old. I mean, they actually age them and everything else.
He bought it from the same dude that sold you that Grammy.
Chum, shut up.
Really?
Did we all somehow forget that I've been doing this a long time?
No, but you got my money out in the wind.
You're spending money like you own the place.
Look, dude, if I see an opportunity, I'm gonna take it. That's what you do, that's what you taught me.
I only do it if I have a basic understanding of what I'm looking at. You don't know anything about a samurai sword.
I'm not worried about it, guys. I got a buddy coming down to check it out.
All right.
Corey, don't let Chumley slice any apples with it.
All right, you guys wanna leave so we can get back to work? Thank you. Hey, Mike, how you doing, buddy?
Hey, what's up, Corey? How you doing?
I got this for you to take a look at, man. I took a shot on it for like 1,500 bucks, and I'm baffled, man. I couldn't tell you what I bought.
It's a samurai sword.
Shut up, chum.
I am a Japanese sword appraiser and dealer. The guys call me up whenever they get something new or interesting, and I help them determine what its current value is. After World War II, it's estimated about 3 million Japanese swords came out of Japan that were confiscated by the occupation forces. Most likely, this is something like that.
Okay.
Samurais are pretty badass.
Well, samurai were very honorable, very determined warriors. So even if you and I were fighting and I admit defeat, I would even ask you honorably to cut off my head and assist me. They wanted to basically show that, okay, I'm a man, this is it, it's my time, and can you help me?
Not the way I'd play it, but okay.
The Japanese warrior, also known as the samurai, was pretty much the professional warrior of the day. The Japanese sword is what gave the samurai his status. You could not be a samurai without the samurai sword. So do you have any concerns about this sword?
Pretty much I spent 1,500 bucks on something I really don't know that much about.
Well, let's see if you got lucky. This is the proper way to take apart a Japanese sword. They've been doing this style for centuries. We take off the handle so we can see if it's signed. And it does have a signature.
Is it Yasusugu?
Yes, that's right.
Okay.
This maker did not work for merchants. He only worked for high-level samurai.
Oh, wow.
You see this mark right here? This is the family crest of the Tokugawa family who ruled for 250 years, from 1596 all the way down until the 1800s. And the generations of this swordsmith kept the use of this mark. In Japan, if you were caught using this mark without any permission, you could be beheaded and your entire family as well.
Oh, wow.
The two symbols that had the most meaning were the imperial family and the Tokugawa family, which is the symbol that's on Corey's sword. And because of this, it's a very rare sword.
Okay, good. What year was it made?
In the late 1600s, the swordsmith is the 5th generation.
What do you think it's worth?
Well, in as-is condition, it's probably worth about 5,000 to 6,000 right now.
Oh, it's a score, big hoss.
So you could take it and restore it for me, right?
Well, I can take care of it for you. It'll be about $3,000.
And what's it worth after that?
Oh, this sword, because he's a rare maker, you're looking at probably about 15,000.
Take it. Appreciate it, Mike.
All right.
I had a knot in my stomach waiting for Mike to get here, but that was exactly the news I needed. I definitely took a bit of a risk on this one, but sometimes you just gotta go for it. And I really can't wait to rub it in my dad's face. Hey, Mike, what's going on, buddy?
Hey, Corey. Well, remember that sword?
Is that the sword?
This is it.
Oh, sweet. Let me grab everybody real quick. Pops, Chum. Mike's here with the sword.
All right, the one you paid too much for?
Feast your eyes on this.
Wow.
When you hand the sword to somebody, you do it with respect to show trust. And the edge is to me, so I'm trusting you. And give it to you like so.
So this is it, huh? Wow, it looks awesome, man.
Sweet.
That is pretty.
You can't get this type of workmanship by using machines. It was all done by hand.
I mean, it looks great, Mike. How'd you do it?
Well, I sent the blade to my friend, who's a Japanese professionally trained polisher. Then the handle was rewrapped by another friend of mine. And now it's in 100% restored condition.
So this sword actually belonged to a samurai.
Oh, a real samurai. This maker did not work for merchants. He only worked for high-level samurai. So this is a real samurai sword.
Let me check it out.
No.
No.
So how sharp is it?
It's basically a 28-inch razor blade. Usually I don't do this, but do you have a piece of paper?
Yeah, hold this for me.
Here we go. Here's some paper.
Oh, wow.
So if you notice, that's pretty clean, and I didn't swing very hard.
Yeah, that's better than I could do with a pair of scissors.
Did my idiot grandson make any money off of this?
You realize I'm holding like a razor-sharp sword right now, right?
Oh, shut up.
So what's something like this worth?
The sword is now worth about $15,000.
$15,000.
What am I paying you?
It's $3,300 for all the restoration work we did.
So when was the last time you tripled your money, Dad? Grandpa?
Oh, shut up.
Chum? Anybody?
Every dog gets lucky every once in a while.
Yeah, I just remember you screwing up a lot lately. Thanks, Mike.
All right, take it easy,
Thanks
guys.
a lot, man. I
I'll see you
appreciate it.
later.
You have a good day, my friend.
I'm getting really tired of being treated like this. I just made a lot of money for this shop, and they're still giving me crap. If they don't start realizing I'm an important part of this company, I might have to go somewhere where I can be appreciated.
Let me check it out.
Chum, this is for real ninjas, bro.
Come on.
We just surprised Chum with a brand new bike for his 30th birthday. And now we're heading to the biggest motorcycle rally in the world, Sturgis. It only happens once a year, and it's in South Dakota, 1,100 miles away from Vegas.
If I have to turn 30, this is the way to do it. I can't believe I fell for it when the guys told me I couldn't come. I should be plotting some type of revenge or something, but I'm having way too much fun.
I'm the kind of guy that likes to just cruise and enjoy the ride, so I'm in no hurry. I'm just bummed that, Rick decided to take a motorhome as opposed to being out in the wind with us.
I've been driving for a couple hours now, and with no one to bug me, it has been the best. Just crossed into Utah, and I pulled into a little town named Hurricane to look for some food. What do we have here? And I noticed a little antique shop with a weird trailer out front, so I'm gonna go inside and see what they got.
Hello.
Hey, how's it going?
Good, how are you?
All right, just looking around.
Sure.
Unfortunately, even when I'm on vacation, I can't help myself. I'm always looking for deals. One of the weird things about a random antique shop, you'll never know what you'll find. It might just be completely full of junk, might be full of treasures, might be overpriced, might be underpriced. Is the player piano for sale?
Well, everything has its price.
What year is it?
It's 110 years old.
And it works and everything like that?
Yeah, here, try it. It's a hit of the store.
Okay.
What do you think?
So what would you take for it?
It'd have to be more than 10,000.
That's a little more than I want to pay.
Well, I'd be in trouble if I sold it. I'd give it to my wife for her birthday.
How much do you love your wife?
A lot.
Okay. What this place has got going for it, it's pretty damn big, so there might be that one little treasure stashed in a corner somewhere. This is definitely pretty cool. Excuse me.
Question?
Yeah, do you know anything about this?
It's on consignment. I don't know anything about it. Looks like some sort of helmet.
Samurai helmet, it looks like. You're asking $300 for it. I probably shouldn't tell you this, but you're not asking nearly enough for this thing. He had a price for $300. I have a conscience. I believe in karma. I had to tell him what it was worth. Because it could retail for as much as $2,500.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. I own the Ugly Trailer Antiques in Hurricane, Utah. With the samurai helmet, I was really surprised that it was worth that much. That blew me away. I think the customer that has it on consignment will be thrilled.
This is actually really cool. This is a samurai helmet from late Edo period.
When is that?
Early 1600s to basically 1868, I believe, somewhere right around in there. You know, you had the emperor, who was like the king, and then you had the samurai, which was sort of like the royal court. They were basically the equivalent of like dukes and earls in England. Over the years, I've seen a few samurai helmets. I've seen a lot of samurai swords. So when you get those things in your store, you try and do a lot of research on them. That way, you know next time they come in, what to look for. I mean, everything on this thing looks right. So how much will you take for it?
What will you give me?
$1,250.
I gotta do a little better than that.
You only wanted 300 to start with. So what will you take for it?
Well, I think after what I've learned about it today, I think we've got to have at least 2 for it.
1,500?
Come on, you can do better than that. 17.
I'll go 16.
1650.
All right, 1650.
All right. Let's go write it up.
Usually I say that. Just goes to show when you go into an antique store in a small town, every once in a while you can find something. I think I can sell it quick. Sturgis, here I come.
Got some help with this samurai sword?
Hey, how you doing?
Pretty good. How's it going?
This one right here?
Yeah, that one.
All right. All right, check it out. Be careful with it. It's really sharp. I guess if you needed some type of home defense and you couldn't own a gun, this would be the thing to have.
Yeah, exactly.
There's nothing in the world quite like a Chinese sword, and that's why this company makes replicas. Swords like this aren't made with a machine. They're hand-forged. They're works of art, and thanks to movies like The Last Samurai and Kill Bill, they've become really hot with collectors.
Let me ask how old this one is?
Actually, it was only made in 2006, but it's a little different. It's made exact specifications as the old ones are. It's not one of those $19 cheap swap meet ones.
I could tell. The brass fitting and staboo is very nice.
Comes with the case. We got the scroll here, which is the certificate of authenticity.
Exactly, that's what you want.
That's to let you know that it's real. Really, the only way you're gonna be able to tell the difference is just the quality of steel that they're able to make now. You know, they just got whatever they got out of the ground back then, and now they've got the best steel they could possibly make of these.
Now I can tell right away it's fine carbon steel. The craftsmanship of the blade, the thickness and the sharpness of it is second to none. May I ask what you're asking for it?
Right now, we're asking $1,250. We bought this sword about 5 months ago for $500, so we have some time and money invested in it. I'm gonna have to play hardball to make sure we turn a profit.
Wow. I saw a few of these online going cheaper, like 800, 850.
Thing is I've got it here and now. A lot of these guys online, they'll charge $800 for it, and then they'll hit you with a few $100 in shipping, stuff like that. If you want to make me an offer, I could probably do a little better.
Does $1,000 work?
Yeah, I can go down to 1,000.
Sounds great. We got a deal.
All right, deal.
Thanks.
We always talk about waiting for the right customer to walk in. I knew he wasn't going home without it, and we doubled our money, so everybody won.